Toccata for Piano and Five Cellos is a very special piece for me. It really pushed me and I felt it took me to another level as a musician. This piece actually started as a piano solo, and I thought, I want to start orchestrating my music so I can play with a symphony. Well, during the shelter at home time, it was not possible to get even a string quartet to record this song. So my friend Danna Xue, who is a wonderful cellist, so I checked with her and she said, I would love to do it.
So the process of writing was really interesting from home. And so Daniel and I, it all started off with some texts about the ideas.
And I said, oh boy, it'd really be neat if we could hear all the parts instead of just the cello part. And she said, well, I could try playing all the parts on cello.
It was an iterative process since there were 5 cello parts to record. I made a setup in my room with a microphone and began recording onto my laptop, and he would provide feedback that night so I could make the corrections by the next day.
This piece is so challenging to play on cello, violin parts and runs and fifths, jumping all over the instrument, and the piano part is doing percussion things and all kinds of unusual fingerings because of the music. I thought, it really needs to be seen, not just heard. I wanted to make a music video to say, hey everybody, look what we did.
With music videos, really what you're trying to do is enhance what the artist originally set out to do with his music and come up with visuals that really fit the tone of his work.
I asked Daniel what he thought about when he composed this song, and he said he visualized the ocean.
Now when water moves, it doesn't all move in the same motion. They move in counterpoint, waves come in, sometimes you have double waves, they come in at different angles. If you've ever been to Kaena Point in the island of Oahu, you can see waves crossing each other.
So I listened to the song a few times and I could see the ocean ebbing and flowing, how it could be calm one moment and powerful the next.
What I was after was to score the depth of the ocean.
One of the main things I had to do was visualize the performance and to see through it that the storyboard came to life, and we were able to secure both indoor and outdoor locations and that everyone was in touch.
They managed to find a beautiful studio soundstage at Center Staging in Burbank, and I asked them if it was possible to film it on a Yamaha grand piano.
Directing a music video is really no different than directing any other project. Hopefully you've done a lot of pre-production, a lot of planning, so that when you get to the production phase, you can execute things efficiently and properly. Lighting is incredibly important. At our first location, there was a grid with stage lighting, and we were able to augment that lighting and add some smoke to give the shots a little bit more depth and dimension.
The piece is called Toccata for Piano and Five Cellos, so it was important to get close shots of their fingers, the keyboard, and the bow on the strings.
With COVID-19, it was nice to get out for the 2 days that we were shooting. And when we went to the beach, I'll go to the beach for any reason, any time, and any day.
At the ocean location, it was all natural lighting, and I think the contrast between the two is really important in this project.
There were certainly a lot of outtakes when the wave wouldn't crash on time or I would slip up, mess up my dance move.
The funniest part of this whole thing was having to stay behind the camera for the gimbal shots. We had to run back and forth, and Danna would never be able to keep up. He was always so distracted, saying, ooh, sorry, I'm in the shot, ooh. And you just have to run, and we just kept running. It was hilarious.
Throughout the process, Daniel and I were really curious to learn about editing videos and filming, and the directors and producers were so patient and walked us through all the steps. It really takes a whole team to realize a concept.
We just worked together as a team with all the challenges we've had, even driving to the same location and social distancing 6 feet in a car with masks on, and going to a park and staying outdoors and just being extra careful so we're taking care of everyone's health, and still doing something that's so intimate.
It's just incredibly fun and super rewarding.
The best part about working on this music video project was getting to interact with such talented, high energy and positive people.
Everyone was wonderful to work with, and I think we ended up with something that far surpassed my expectations. The end result was just something magical.
It's a wrap!
All right, nice job.